Hello everyone and welcome back to Feel Russian channel, and today I just decided to take you to my house in the south of Russia and to show you around. So let's go with me.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever, so I can hold you in my arms. I will carry you on my shoulders as long as I'm able. Scare the monsters under your bed.
I will just show you the house that we found for rent. So it's not all our house, definitely. We are just renting only the part of the first floor. The second floor belongs to the owner, to the landlady, and the third floor is also for rent. So it's a kind of the hotel that we rent. Let me just start our tour with the beautiful garden.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun.
Oh, look at this cat. So he came from the neighbors.
Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
This is a kind of the barbecue place. But in Russia we don't have a barbecue. We are just cooking so-called shashlik, and people cook it on the coals. So they put meat over here, and then they just doing like this. Now I'm standing at the terrace in front of the entrance. Usually every single morning I come to this terrace with a cup of coffee. I'm smelling the air and I'm listening to the birds singing. But I think it's high time to go inside the house and for me to make for you a tour. Once we entered the house, we don't have any wardrobe and all our clothes is just hanging over here. By the way, this like New York Yankees cap I got to my husband from US last year, so I came to visit my friends, and this is all our shoes that we have, mostly sneakers. So 1, 2, 3 pairs of sneakers belong to my husband. I have only one, and like this one. So this is a TV, but believe me or not, we like never watch it. We don't watch TV at all, and we don't even know where is the remote. And this is a very cozy sofa. Usually I sit here in the morning, drink coffee and read books. And it seems to me I have to show you these two albums. Actually, I decided to make 2 projects with these albums, so I ordered them online, and one album I just dedicated to our wedding last year, and the other album I just dedicated to 2021. I printed the pictures with the brightest moment of the year, and I also read some write some explanations like what happened, which place we visited, and so on and so forth. So probably you would like to see some pictures. Let me start first with our wedding album. So I put this picture in the cover. This album has a very good quality with such paper in between. Actually, I started with the very beginning, the way how my husband proposed, because he did it very beautifully. He rented like an orangery, like a botanical garden, and he called me for a date. So there was a table beautifully decorated and so on and so forth. So this is our wedding number 1, like the first wedding we had in a courthouse of St. Petersburg. There were only 2 of us. We signed the papers, and we also called the girl who was our photographer. So that's how it looked like. So I love these pictures so much. They're so funny, and I also want to write, you know, some words, like some funny stories about this wedding. So I love pictures so much. This girl who took our pictures, she was just brilliant. So they're a lot of fun, and I had a very unusual dress for this wedding. And the wedding number 2, it took place, so we invited our friends and relatives, and it was in a very beautiful place on the lake, not far from St. Petersburg. So I'll just show you somewhere from the middle. So this is my parents, my dad and my mom. So they're both crying, so happy to see us. So let me show you the pictures. So like this one, this is my parents from my side, and this is my husband's parents who came from Siberia. This is my husband's son. His name is Max. He's 14 years old. And this is my younger brother. So it seems to me that you already know me and my family. So these are the pictures. This is the album. So coming to the end. If you feel like pictures are boring to you and you don't want to see them, you actually can come to the part of the video where I will continue my house tour, and I will show you the kitchen and the bedrooms and so on and so forth. But if you're interested to see some pictures with me, so please stay and watch it. This is the second album. It's dedicated to 2021, and actually I haven't done it yet, and I haven't put our picture on the cover. And I decided, you know, just to put like different months. This is a January in Russian, and to say like about the brightest events of that month. This is me. We went to a very beautiful forest, like a February, and we went to beautiful Baikal Lake. So this is all Baikal Lake. So this is the beauty, and I'm just telling the story of the place, like what this means, and so on and so forth. We were just walking on the ice. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's the ice of the Baikal Lake. It looks amazing. So, and this is us. So all like pictures. This is me making an angel on the snow. This was our trip. This was my flight to US to the wedding of my friends. This is us together, and these guys, they got married May 2nd, 2021. So I went to visit them. So yeah, this was my American trip. This was instead of the cake, they had donuts, like American style. We had a walk. That's all America. And this is the clothes I got my husband from the States. Max, so we are playing cards together. And my parents, so we got them presents from US. You see this everyday California, and this is my mom holding her presents. So this is beautiful St. Petersburg. We had so many walks together, Church in the Spilled Blood. So once I come to St. Petersburg, I will definitely show you. So, and this is actually pretty because I haven't done this album yet. I have so many pictures printed, but I didn't put them into this album. You know, I just feel like you are my guest, and usually in Russia, and probably not only in Russia, probably in your countries as well, when the guests come, you just open the album with your pictures, and you just show them pictures and tell the stories, and I think it's so nice, and it's much better than, you know, looking the pictures in your phone. So it just brings much more memories. While I'm usually sitting here drinking my coffee and reading books, this is my husband's favorite place. So he sits in this chair next to the flowers and reading his book. This is my tripod and the lamp, so sometimes it helps me to film my video. on their I forgot, window sill, right? I'm keeping my laptop and some devices for filling, like AirPods. So this is both kitchen and I would say the dining room combined. This is our fridge, and on the fridge there is a magnet with the prayer. You know, there is a tradition for Russians, so sometimes their fridge is fully decorated with different like magnets. So let's check our fridge inside, but actually we don't have an electricity, I'm so sorry. So it's so dark, it will be dark inside. So what we have here, we have some food. So this is all we have. It's mostly vegetables and eggs. And this is, I just want to show you, this is the chocolate sausage. I've just showed how to cook it in one of my videos. It is with the walnuts and dry cranberry, one of our favorite desserts. So this is all the dishes, like a dishwasher, the filter for water, because the water itself, it's not so good. So at first we filtered it this way. This is a black tea with mint. So these are the cups. This actually, all these dishes, they belong to the landlady, but I took with me from St. Petersburg just several items, and these are these two cups, two mugs, Mr. and Mrs. This was my mom's present after we got married. This is our grill. Use it as a toaster, so we just warm some bread, or we cook fish, meat, vegetables, whatever. Our teeny tiny coffee machine, espresso. It was my parents' present several years ago, and this is one of the best devices that we have. So it costs only $1, but it's priceless. We got it from IKEA, that is now closed on the territory of Russia. We got it several years ago, and we use it for whipping cream in the morning and to make cappuccino. It seems to me I have to show you this shelf. I think I just have to show you the shelf because of these two particular items, and I must tell you the story. So now it's stories time, because I have to tell you the story of this particular cup. This was my husband's presents to a new year last year. So I already told in one of my videos that in Russia people celebrate New Year rather than Christmas, and there is a story behind that, so you can watch the video about this. I will leave a link to you why it is so special. So this cup was made in Imperial porcelain factory. This is the oldest factory in Russia. It was founded in 1744 by our Empress Elizabeth, and it's one of the oldest porcelain factory in Europe. I think like the second oldest or something like this. You see, it's so beautiful inside with this golden pattern. And this particular design, this white and blue with gold, is kind of their mark. They are very popular with this particular design. Plus it's so thin, and I just love beautiful things, and you can't imagine how much inspiration I have when I'm drinking my morning coffee from this particular set.
If I had a chance, I'd take it faster than a heartbeat.
You might be also interested in my window sill collection. So what I have here, I order usually, or it's better to say I ordered different vitamins from Iherb. Yes, I honestly believe that it's better to prevent diseases than cure them. So, and I will show you what we take in our everyday basis. I was very lucky to make my order in at the end of January. So, and this is the last supplies that we have. This is a zinc, C. This is a vitamin D. I told you that people from St. Petersburg, they have a shortage of vitamin D. This is omega. So sometimes we take lecithin, selenium, and this is magnesium. Usually when people come to visit my house, they are wondering what is it. And this is homemade kombucha. I really love it. I don't know how to explain. We call it, actually in the Russian language, this particular like white thing is called mushroom. And I got this mushroom from my grandmother. This kombucha, actually, it was very popular in the USSR, and many people at that time, they drank it because it has so many healthy bacteria. I got it from my grandmother. So as far as I told you, this is mushroom and it is growing. You see, it just have many layers, and she gave me one layer. The only thing I need is just tea and sugar. That's it. So, and I will show you how I cook my homemade kombucha. Now we're gonna make some Russian kombucha together. This one is almost finished, and so I don't like how it smells. So what we need for this, we need some black tea, sugar, and that's it. I pour a little bit of black tea and hot water. I add 3-4 tablespoons of sugar and then give it some time to get cold. In an hour, I just pour this tea into the jar, and in 3-4 days it's ready. I love so much these dry flowers that are standing on our table, like decorating it. Probably, you know, sometimes you don't have so much money to buy fresh flowers all the time, but I got like this one on the street. One of the Russian babushkas, she was sitting on the ground and she was selling these flowers, and when I saw them, I just immediately decided to buy. At first, you know, it's some kind of help because in Russia, like, a pension is very low. It's about like $100 for month. And sometimes, you know, old people, they're just sitting on the street and they're selling their stuff. So, and when you come and you want to give them money, for them, it's kind of, you know, insult, because they say, we are not begging, like, we don't need your money. And then you just try to buy something from them. So I thought that these flowers is a nice investment, both in my house and in this babushka. Let's go and check the bathroom. So this is both toilet and bathroom. Everything is quite simple. Mirror, and this is the irrigator. So 2 years ago I was wearing bracelets, and since that time I use irrigator. This is the shelves with everything we need, with iron, hair dryer, with all the cosmetics, some accessories. Oh, by the way, I just want to show you this one. You saw it, this brooch on the banner of my YouTube channel. This was my mom's New Year's present. So, and it inspired me to put it on the banner. And all accessories that I have. This is my husband's devices, especially for his hairstyle. Yeah, simple. And we don't have the bathtub. Instead, there is a shower. And this, and this is a brush, especially for massage. When I'm not lazy, I use this brush to massage the body. Now I think that I've showed you everything that we have on the ground floor, and it's time to go to the first floor. For us, it's the second floor, and to show you our bedroom. Let's go with me. So, welcome to our sunny bedroom. This is, when we say, our master bedroom, so nothing so much to show you around. This is our bed. Picture our lamp or chandelier, whatever. Our wardrobe where we have all our clothes. If you are interested, I can show you our closet. So actually this is both our clothes, my husband's and I, and this is all we have with us, so both of us. This is all our clothes. I have, a lot of jackets, because when I went to work as a guide, I always worked in like a uniform and a jacket and trousers and a lot of shorts. And this little device was my present to my husband. So this device, this projector, shows stars at nighttime. As far as my husband loves looking at the night sky, I thought it will be a nice idea to give a projector like this. You might be interested with this few details that we have in our room. The thing is, when we were moving from St. Petersburg to the south, I just decided to carry with me some items, some things that will give me, this cozy home atmosphere, just to have the feeling that you have kind of your little home with you. I want to start these details with this bedside table. By the way, this is a whole handmade. It's our landlady, so she did everything on her own. And what we can see here, so these cats, they are knitted, handmade. And again, I saw one babushka sitting on the street, and she was selling these two cats, and I immediately decided to buy it. This is kind of the symbol of my husband and me. And this is the picture. I love it so much. So this is us in Bali, because our love story started in Bali, and it's so bright, it just inspires me. Now we are going to the other side of the bed, to my bedside table, and I will show you what I have on my side. And first, this is a glass of water, because I drink a lot and all the time. So when I go to bed, I keep a water with me. This is Bible. I cannot say that I read every evening, but sometimes I'm just inspired to read some. This is the icon. And I have to tell you this story, because it's not just icon. Probably before I just started to tell you the story of the icon, I have to mention that I grew up in a very religious family, like my father's side. My grandmother, she went to church almost like every Sunday, and she took me with her when I was a child all the time, and she made me to learn by heart some necessary prayers. So when I grew up, I can't say that I'm like so religious. I would say I believe in God, definitely, but for me, God doesn't have any religion. So I can go to some, Orthodox churches. I can come to a Catholic church and start praying. I can come to a Buddhist temple or like a Jewish synagogue. For me, it doesn't matter. So in Russian Orthodox, icons of different saints are very popular, and when I got to know the story of this particular icon, I was fascinated. The thing is, this icon is called Nicholas Miracle Worker, but you see, this icon is with the wound. The thing is, this icon was found, I don't remember like when, in what century, but anyway, it was found with a fisherman not far from Greece in the sea. So they took out of the water the icon, and the miracle is that icon spent under the water like 100 years, but it survived. Here in their forehead. So please let me know in the comments what's better to say, forehead or forehead. I forgot. So in the forehead of the saint, there was an oyster, and like the shell of the oyster, and then the fisherman took out of this shell, the icon started bleeding immediately. So they keep the original of this icon in one of the monasteries in Greece, and this is a miraculous icon. And when I've heard the story, I was so amazed, and I just decided to order a copy for myself. And as I feel this is a very strong icon, and I'm just praying in front of it before going to bed. And this door in front of our bedroom leads to another bedroom, but actually this is not the bedroom, this is the office of my husband. And let's knock the door. Можно? So we will come in and I'll quickly show you. This is a man's room. This is my house laying down and waiting for me. So you see, this is a little bit of mess. So here's device all over. He's laying down his guitar in the corner. This is our warm clothes, like our fur coats. And this is his working space. So thank you. Bye bye. Sorry to disturb you. So we are again on the first floor, or on the ground floor. This is pretty it about my house. So I showed you everything, but at the end of this video, I just decided to answer some questions that you might probably have. So let's drink some tea together and talk.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side,
So I suggest you to drink tea together with me, and it's time to answer the questions. At first I want to tell you about tea, because tea is a very popular drink in Russia, and many Russians, they will invite a person not to drink coffee, they will invite to drink tea. They will say, oh, let's go to my house, let's go and drink some tea together, let's drink some tea. And it doesn't literally mean that they will come and they will have tea. Mostly the invitation for tea means that they will come to the house and they will talk. And sometimes, it will be honest talk. They just will tell each other how they feel about their feelings, emotions, what's going on in the families, and think like this. So, and let it be for us also like honest talk with each other, like friends. So what I wanted to tell you at first, that we were very lucky and we were blessed to find this house, because honestly saying, not all rented houses look like this. And this is probably mostly exception than the rule, because once I came to this house for the first time just to see before we rented it, I was so amazed and I was surprised with the love and passion our landlady decorated everything. Because sometimes when owners they give the place for rent, they just use cheaper materials, like cheap everything. But here everything is made with such love, and once you come to this space you immediately feel it. So let's see, because in 2 weeks, like 3 weeks, we are getting back to St. Petersburg, and as far as we don't have our own house, we don't have our own apartment, we will search. And I will just show you the house in the south of Russia and the apartment in St. Petersburg and what's the difference. The next thing, you might probably interested about the price. So the total area of this house is 120 square meters. And we were so surprised that this house cost us $200 less than we paid for the apartment in St. Petersburg. And there are several reasons for this. At first we came to the south and it was a very low season. It was not a season at all. It was a winter. There was no tourists here. But at the same time, it was much nicer than staying in St. Petersburg. This is the reason why all owners of the buildings, of the hotels, they just make the price cheaper. And I think starting from May, the price for this house will grow, because it will be already warm and the borders are closed. Russian people don't have any choice, they cannot go abroad, and I think many of them will go to the south for their vacation, or just to change the atmosphere. And plus, this place is just situated in a very small village. The only thing that we have here is just a supermarket, and I just showed you this supermarket in one of my tours. But for me, it's absolutely, okay. I am surprised by myself, and all my parents and friends surprised, because I'm a very energetic person. I used to live in a big city for a long time. I was hustling and bustling all the time, and I couldn't imagine myself living in a village. But this year, when we live like almost 6 months in this village, where I have only like a forest next to me, but I feel so happy living close with the nature. If you have any other questions, so please feel free to ask in the comments. I will be very happy to reply them. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next ones. Пока-пока!